year. And I thought that I had migraines because I just was like stressed or whatever. And then I went to a doctor and he gave me medicine, and the medicine wasn't working, so I just like took Alpamol every few hours and walked around with like a mitpachat tied in my head at all times. No, like actually would like stare at me and be like, "What are you doing?" I'm just like, just migraines. So I go to a doctor. I'm like, "You don't understand." Okay, so then this was like around June time. Already the migraines had gone away, and then June time, my headaches came back, and then I couldn't really. I was on the way to a wedding, and I couldn't see. Like it was blurry, so that was really, really hot. Like you watch volume, it's like mama's hot. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm dehydrated, drinking enough water or whatever. And then I was like, fine, I'll just go to the wedding and whatever. And then the wedding, I was just like this. And then Shabbos came, and I was at Mega, and then I couldn't see. I like put my bags down, and I went to the supermarket, and I was just like, I can't. I was at the supermarket. I can't even know what I'm saying. Okay, so then I put my bags down, and I went around the corner to the what's it called, the pharmacy, and I was like, yo, I can't really see. She's like, oh, your eyes look kilo like big,
dilated.
I don't even know, like, I had fluid in my eyes. I didn't know that then, but like, so she could see that. So she's like, oh, you should probably go to a doctor. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So then I went to a Friday night meal, like classic, Givat Shmuel with like 30 people, and they're all like really loud, and I was just like, I can't deal with this noise. And I bounced. And then I walked home, and I stopped on a bench on the way home because I literally couldn't continue. I was just like, I was on the bench like crying. I was just like, why is nobody asking me? Like, if you guys were walking, wouldn't you like stop and like ask somebody why they're staying at the bench crying? Yeah. That's what normal people would do. People just walked away until this angel Russian woman, she's like, I'm like, no! Go get me my friends. And then I think she was gone for like maybe 5-6 minutes, but I felt like it was an eternity because I was like hopeless. I was just like, and then Micha and Adi came with this lady, and we got in her car. Or she had to go get her car. And she's like, okay, we're going to the emergency room. I'm like, no, I really don't want to go. She's like, like she said I had to go. Like, she didn't give me a choice, really. And then we went to, she also wouldn't let us go to the hospital until we got my like Maccabi card and stuff. We didn't need it, but she wanted to. So Micha and Adi, my really good friend, shout out, they came with me. And then we were in the hospital. In the emergency room, they did all these tests, and they asked me all these questions. And then they're like, oh, okay, you have this and this. And I was like, mamish out of it. So I was just like, whatever, I don't care. I thought it was going to be there for like 5-10 minutes and then go home. Wrong. So Adia and Micha stayed with me until 6 in the morning until I got put in the ward into neurology. And then I was there for 3.5 weeks. And then after I woke, this was also next day was my birthday, it was Shabbos. So I woke up and I was just like, oh man, great, it's my birthday. And like that's just like trying to like make me feel better and just like whatever, okay, I'm not gonna be happy about the situation. And then I was there for 3.5 weeks. I had blood clots in my brain. Crochet got like why it starts in my brain in case nobody understands. Because I thought that like karish comes from like blood clots. You got it? Okay. Do you guys get it? Do you like new? Okay. Crochet.
I have the blood clot through.
Okay. The doctor told me that I had crochet dam. So like I thought that it was like a play on words, like karish, blood, because sharks like blood. So you got it. You still don't get it. Diesel is like, dude, sharks like blood, right? So I thought like that's why they called it blood clots.
The one is with the hook, one is with the cup.
Yeah, whatever. So, did you get it?
Well,
we could try it out.
Wait, so the sharks gave you the blood clot?
Yeah, whatever. Sir. So I was there for 3.5 weeks the first time.
With the shark?
And I went through a lot of pain. Shopsy, why are you laughing?
He's like crying about it right now.
She's crying because the story is something.
So while I was there for 3.5 weeks, I had Givat Shmuel people come to visit me at all times. Yo, Shopsy, you gonna drink or something? And then times the people would ask me if like if I was on Taglit. And I was like, no, look, Taglit. They're like, they didn't understand how so many friends coming to visit me at all times. Like, mama, sometimes I have to kick people out. I'll be like, I'm going to sleep now, just like leave. No, I was the oldest person in the youngest person, sorry, in the ward. Because everyone else was like 80. Because like people my age, don't get blood clots. Shopsy, are you okay? Do you need something? Kitzer, I had spinal taps. It's a needle this size that goes into your spine. And I walked around with a brain bag. Literally, it looked like pee, but it wasn't. It was just like attached to my spine. No, people really thought like, Kitzer, so when they came to do this stupid thing to put up the spinal tap, it was so, I don't even, you guys should never have to go through much pain. Like, I don't even know what to compare it to, because it's just like, okay, we're going to numb the area, and then like, oh, feel much better, and then we'll do, I'm like, okay, whatever. I literally cried. I nearly punched the doctor a few times, and like, after the fourth time, I'm like, you're not touching me unless you put me to sleep. They're like, I'm like, you're not touching me. He's like, fine, bye. He left. I'm not joking, he left. I'm like, I don't care, you're not touching me. He's like, okay, fine, bye. And then he came back and he's like, okay, fine, I'll give in, I'll do it. I'm like, I know, I would, whatever. I like, really, I like, whenever I, like, the nurses like love me, I need like, it's one male nurse who's like my best friend. One nurse was like really mean to me. I'm just like, you don't want to be with me anymore. So then after 3.5 weeks, they got out and they're like, okay, great, you're done. I'm like, hey, great, coming back to Gila Shmuel, super hot, schwitzing, walking around. And then I went back to my eye doctor to do checkups. And I really, the eye doctor place is something, I went to the eye doctor every day while I was there for 3.5 weeks. It was like torture, because in the first 2 weeks that I was there, I couldn't really see. Like, I walked around with an eye patch. I was just like, I can't see. And like, all I knew about Tel Shomar was like, my room, eye clinic, my room, eye clinic. And I'd be like, yo, eye clinic, I'm back. Like, oh, okay, go to there. I'm like, no, I know what I need to do. So I went to the eye clinic after like a few weeks of being out. I was like, oh, I'm back with her. I know the nurses. I'm like, she's like, oh, get up, I'm like, I hate being here. I'm traumatized of going there. So I go and I do my eye checkup. She's like, oh, Gila, you have eye fluid in your eyes again. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, I'm like, this is a joke. She's like, no, you have to go to the emergency room. I was by myself. I started crying. I'm like, I can't deal with this. I went to the emergency room. They're like, okay, do all these tests. And I had to sleep in the emergency room because I had no beds upstairs. So then I was like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna, I knew the hospital like the back of my head. I'm like, okay, I'm going up to neurology. They're like, and Makom. I'm like, what do you mean there's no room? I need to go. So I left, I hid all my stuff under the bed, and I like went upstairs. I'm like, hey, yo, docs, I'm back. Are you gonna check me out? And they're like, Ken, biduk, רצינו שתבואי, התקשרנו. Like, they called like downstairs, and like, they didn't tell me that. Why didn't she like go down? Like, in the meanwhile, she was like doing all these checkups, like go like this to this, all these neurological tests. I don't even know. Kitzer, I go back downstairs to the lady. I'm like, yo, היא אמרה לי שאני חייבת לעלות עכשיו. She's like, מה? לא. She thought I was lying to her. She's like, yeah, you didn't just go upstairs. I'm like, yeah, I did. Why would I lie to these people that like whatever? I'm like, you call them now. And you see, she's like, it's a decade. You're right. So I'm like, okay, peace. So I took up my stuff by myself. And I'm like, she's like, את רוצה לחכות שניקח אותך? Like, take me. I'm like, nope, I've got this. I like had so much stuff to shut, and I went upstairs, and then like, oh, okay, fine, we're gonna do the surgery. I have a spinal tap that goes from here to here to here to my abdomen. I don't feel it, but it like I don't really know what it does. It just like takes the brain fluid and gets rid of it. Basically, you have brain fluid in your brain. I have too much of it, so it needs to like
make it flow.
go away.
Brain fluid that's excess.
It's there's a word for it. I don't know it. So yeah. So then I was in the hospital for another week and a half, and it was just like highs and lows. Like, oh, I thought I was getting better, and then bam, the doctor's like, oh no, gotta do the other stuff again. I'm like, when am I like leaving this place? And it was like a joke. Like I would like escape sometimes. Like I didn't really. I was like, yo, I like minute to leave to give out tomorrow. Avital Segal, she's like, I'm like, Avital, we're taking me out. I can't deal. She's like, I can't kidnap you from the hospital. I'm like, I'm getting you sure from the doctor. So my doctor friend, he actually lives in Gila Shmuel. I saw him a few months ago. Crazy times. He's like, כן, כן, את יכולה לצאת, כאילו, כמה שעות to like go out to Gila Shmuel to like see your life. So I'm like, nurse lady, yo, I'm leaving. She's like, you're not allowed to leave. I'm like, he said I could. She's like, no, you can't. He's not gonna let you. I'm like, go ask him. I dare you. She's like, why? Like this lady thought I was lying. She was like being so negative. I'm like, why are you trying to ruin my moment and me getting like released for a few hours to go see my friend? I haven't seen life. She's like, oh, he said you can go. I'm like, I said that I could. Like, why would I lie? Like, these people, like I knew my stuff, you know? So, then finally after having the surgery, I got out, and then, but like really getting out was just like, fine, I was like healthy, but then like I went through a lot of other stuff because it was really hard. I still have to go to doctors every 6 months. Like I was just at the eye doctor now a few weeks ago, and I was doing the visual field test, and I have to stare into this thing and like press the button every time a flash thingy comes on. So after I was done with that, she's like, whoa, your test was really not okay. Like, maybe you have eye fluid in your eyes. I literally started crying. I'm like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean? She's like, oh, let me look at your previous test. She's like, oh, okay, it's fine, it's a state. I'm like, okay, so why did you just make me want to cry? I literally cried in front of her. No, you're fine, go to the doctor. I'm like, okay, whatever. But like now whenever I go to Telstra, I've been there like a few times for like Perm when people go, and I like see my doctors. I'm like, hey, like, oh, what's up? I'm like, hey, we're best friends. Like, I mom is like, no, we're going there. But I really wouldn't have been able to get through it if it wasn't like with all my friends and like Michal. Like she was by my side. She read my charts for me. She knew more about my charts than I did.
You were sick, so
the doctor stopped and Michal was learning medicine, and she's like, I'm learning child education. And like doctors always ask me about like my family, and I'm like, yeah, they're in like America, and they're like, oh, like okay. My mom came the first time, and it was like really, really hard for my whole family to be so far away from me, but they saw how awesome Givat Shmuel was. Like they made this Facebook group called Gila Smile, plan awards and Give a Smile that Tzvi Chermak made, like do chesed projects. So Chaim Seligman made this group Gila Smile, and people posted the craziest, funniest YouTube videos. It made my day. It was just like, I don't even know where they found, like people were in finals, so that's like what they did with their time, entertaining me with like YouTube videos. And then like people wrote me like, I have like 2 books of like letters that people wrote me. I read them all the time. Just like I don't remember like what happened. Also, I wasn't inviting someone today to the party, and I was like, oh, you're coming to my party. They're like, oh, it's for you. I'm like, no, it's not my party. It's for Hashem. Because really, like I wouldn't have been able to get through if I didn't have all like the support from my friends and the muna that I had during it. When I was like feeling happy, I really felt like I was getting better. Like when I was sad, I was just like, I'm gonna be sick again. I'm just like. It just being positive. Like people are like, you're so happy in the hospital. I'm like, no, I'm really not. I gotta pretend to be happy because like if not, I'm not gonna get better. It's like, you know, mind over matter. And yeah, that's basically it. And then like I was looking online today, if like is there anything like specific you have to do in Mesibat Hodaya, or they're like, no, just do one. I'm like, okay. I think maybe you have to do like motzi or something, but like it's really just giving things because.
I watched.
We're set. It was a really great challenge, and I think it taught me a lot. It gave me a lot, and that's about it. And really, thank you all for coming. If you want, you can like read my blog, and we'll tell you more about the story. Because I really had a lot of emotions during this time. Because people would ask me every day, "Hey, Gila, how you feeling?" I'm just like. Just leave me alone. I don't. I'm like, I would copy and paste. I'm like, this is what I did today, or this is what's happening. I'm just like, just read my blog, and you will know everything. And yeah, basically, that's the story. Thank you so much for coming. Have food. Good stuff.